This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
For that.
Hey, it's funny. It's Brian Sebastian Movie Reviews Award. Where are we having fun? Obviously, first of all, we're at Cute Booty. I look cloudy, but I'm okay with that because I'm the black guy. As long as the women look good, that's all that matters. So, live on K4HD Radio, Talk4 Media, TV, radio, podcasting, streaming worldwide TV network, WomenOnTV.tv, iTunes 247 out of Franklin, Tennessee, all the platforms around the world. So this is a special show. Not only am I, Tasha's there. Not only am I happy that Antman is here, Roxy, aka Drew Barrymore, is here, Tony is here, yes, even Nonstop is here, and guess what? A best-selling author, Angelica Robles, and April Monet. So a lot of people popped in last minute, so this was going to be a complicated show, but it's a technology show. So the great thing about this is, Angelica, how do you feel today?
I feel good. I locked it down.
International
and you can't tell, she's got these shoes, Terri, that actually say, she's got a lock on one end and then a key on the other one. So that's right. What she means by that.
I have a pair of shoes like that. Of course I do. I have a pair of
the other thing about this is, Antman, I'm glad to see you. Let's start with you. We got to start with you first because how you doing? Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad that RA Nation is actually doing pretty good. So let's talk about how you started, why you guys are doing good. When I can get time to chime in on your show with you and AKA Drew, AKA Roxy, I like your show. Why do I like your show? Talk about it.
You know, for a long time, me and Roxy have supported our communities with music and community projects and all kinds of different stuff. And you know, we've never really been able to lock down something together. We've always been seeing each other work on other projects. So I wrapped up one of my longest running projects. I had a podcast that I had for 45 seasons that I produced and ran myself. And that's where I built this brand behind me. I built Music Familia Productions from the ground up, and it's based around music, family, and shows. And so, you know, me and Roxy worked on a couple different projects, and we never really got I feel like, I try not to speak for her, but I feel like I wasn't getting what I wanted out of those projects. And so
what do you think it was you weren't getting out of those projects?
So, you know, when you start out to do something like fresh and you've never done it before, you have a conception of what you think it should be, and then you find out it's totally not that. So I, you know, I'm disabled, I'm a stay-at-home father. I have 2 kids under 5, and I try to run a business and do all the stuff that you have to do to run a business and be a father and be relevant. And I found that I was sacrificing blood, sweat, tears, family life, dad life, all of that. And I was supporting people that really weren't even supporting themselves. So I had to sit back and evaluate really like where my time was really being used and where it was really being abused. So after thinking about that, I was like, well, I need to trim the fat. And so I was going to throw it up altogether. My dad passed away 3 years ago, December, and he was a big influence on why I even do what I do. And so when he passed, I just felt like lost, like there was nothing there. So when I talked to Roxy about it, I was like, look, if we can't figure out something, then I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna hang up my headphones because honestly, I've just been doing this for too long for nothing. And these bands, the local bands, and there's no disrespect to musicians and artists, especially in 2021 in a pandemic, but the the first step to anything is making effort yourself, and when you come to somebody and say, hey, promote my show, promote this, promote that, and then you go to their band page and they don't even have an about section filled out or anything. It's really hard to promote and push somebody that doesn't know how to promote and push themselves at all, or let me rephrase, doesn't want to.
Well, that makes sense. So, Roxy, you're doing double duty. This is interesting. Talk about what you're doing and why RA Nation is actually relevant to you, because this is not easy doing this, is it?
It is definitely not easy.
I'm sorry, Drew Barrymore. Sorry.
Barrymore, yes. So yeah, I'm double duty right now with well, I could say more than that. I'm producing the show right now. I'm the one running the banners and all that. I'm sound engineer. I am actually on the show. It's a little grown up. All this, it's not the easiest thing to do, but I'm making it happen. The relevance with all this is I've been in the radio scene for umpteen years, I think maybe 14. Always been into music, and I got with the stations W4CY, K4HD, and we started doing TV shows, and I always had this inspiration of working with and helping. I can't play guitar, I can't sing, so I'm gonna do what I can in the music scene. And here I am, more than just the music scene as well. There's a lot of other variables in place, but here I am working with amazing people, and we've grown because of all the amazing people I meet. Really, that's, the rapport is outstanding. And not only do I get to promote them and help them, I become really good friends with them, such as Brian and Antman, everybody, Tosh and Terri, all of you guys. We're buddies now, so we've got things going on, and the show has been a hit. It's, it's grown so fast, so quick, and I can't say more great things about it. I'm pretty pleased.
You have really, really good numbers, and congratulations on that. But it's a lot of work of what you guys have been doing. And I tell people here on the West Coast what you guys are doing in Ohio. Antman, are you in Ohio too?
I am, yes. I am in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah. So congratulations on your crappy weather, because I'm watching that also. So Terri, here's where Terri comes in, because it's about music. It's about having Tony at the bottom. So talk about this band. Talk about this music video. Why this is important to have our movie reviews and more. And then after that, we're going to Tasha and we're going to Angelica and April.
Okay, well, I'm going to introduce Tony Richards from WIKKID STARR. I had the pleasure and honor of being in their new video, and we have some interesting stories. But I want Tony to talk. Tony's also a psychologist. So without ado, how you doing, Tony?
Good. How are you?
What was that?
I said, good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing really, really good. So, tell our listeners about WIKKID STARR and about
it's WIKKID STARR.
WIKKID STARR. Tell everybody about the band. I've had a long day. Tell everybody about the band and about the new album. And I'm gonna let you go ahead.
Sure. The band started in 2015. I went out to South America, and did a promotional tour of Argentina, Brazil, and Uruguay, and went on this promotional blitz to promote the first album, which was called Collision Course. Unfortunately, the guitar player went MIA, and then our engineer, the guy who helped me produce the album, ended up passing away from cancer. Wow. So I pretty much went on this all by myself, and then I put together the lineup, which has changed over the years, and the current lineup is completely different than what the original lineup was, and then there were several lineups in between. So it's been a journey, but I can honestly say that at this point, I'm very happy with the lineup that we have, and it's very productive. It's very good. We're solid all the way around. There's no weak link like there used to be. I'm not going to say anything or elaborate on that, but we're happy where things are. The new album's going to be called Return to Glory. We're signed to Lions Pride Music in Denmark. That's the label that signed us, and it'll be out on April 29th, 2022. The video that you're referring to is a single that we're going to release called Rock Till the End, and we feature Terri in the video. She's the main character, and she kind of makes the video sizzle, and you'll see what I mean when you see it.
Okay, Terri.
It was a lot of fun. Well, I think, don't we have a clip, Roxy?
We sure do.
So let's check it out.
I thought you said tear it up.
No, well, let's check it out.
All right, here it is. Terri looking good.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. And what's kind of funny about this whole thing was originally we had to push the shooting back because was it Cardi B? Cardi B was filming a video, and they took the studio the whole day, so we were like waiting for them to get out of the studio, and it was kind of the funny thing because but it was one of those things that we got booted out of the studio for Cardi B, but we got it done. It was absolutely a lot of fun. I'm a big rocker at heart, so I was really honored to be in the video, so it was really exciting. And then I got to introduce the guys at the Whiskey. Yep, which was kind of crazy because that was the first show that I was able to. Well, it was the first show I was able to go to after COVID, and it was at the and actually I saw them play right before COVID, so it was the first show I saw before COVID. I mean, right before COVID started, and then I came back and saw them again, so it was awesome, and I got to introduce them. So. But kind of, Tony, tell people like what were you guys doing during COVID? How were you getting past that? Were you just writing and creating things, or
we were still doing gigs. We did a couple live streams from the Whiskey, and we just kept practicing and finishing our album, the Sudden Impact album, which is the second album that we did. And everything just kind of, we kept the train rolling. Everyone was in hiatus for a long time, and then they had to hit the reset button. We never did. We just kept in touch with each other and kept on going. So it was good.
And then Tony, your drummer is Brazilian, right? If I'm correct.
Yeah. My drummer Sergio Sanchez is from Brazil, and so is the guitar player Rafa Salza. So they're both from Brazil. One's from Rio, and the other one's from Sao Paulo. So yeah, they're really good musicians. They've been playing for a long time. They're well known in Brazil. They're trying to make a name for themselves out here, and that's kind of where we're going with the new album. We just played with Lou Graham of Foreigner and Asia at the Oxnard Performing Arts Center on Saturday, this past Saturday, the 13th. and we had a really, really good show. Lou's manager is thinking about taking us on tour with them. We're going to talk about it and see if it's beneficial for everybody, and if it is, then we might go for it.
With Foreigner?
I'm sorry?
With Foreigner?
With Lou Graham.
Oh, see,
yeah,
well,
Lou's on his own. The version of Foreigner that you're talking about features Kelly Hansen on vocals.
Right. So, Tosh, what do you think about this? That's that Latin singer that you are.
Well, I mean, I've always loved music, so anything that has to do with music must be so exciting. Like when you start like to create like a music video, when you create a song and you kind of have your own vision, and then when you see it come like happen, it's just like amazing. So, Tony, like, how was how did the idea of this music video, like, what is the main, or is there a storyline to the music video, or it's just like having fun? How was that process?
You want me to be honest?
Yeah. Honesty is the best policy.
Okay,
Real
as long as
stories.
I'll say it like it is. So it was just, you know, an idea that I had when I was at the Rainbow one night, and I wrote the lyrics when I came home at 2:00 in the morning, and it's basically cock rock. There's no rocket science to it. I mean, that's all it is. It's just sleazy rock and roll.
I loved it. I was like, yeah, you know, I don't listen a lot to rock, but whenever I hear like a good rock song, then I'm just like, okay, I can definitely bump to this, like as I'm driving in the car, like on a road trip, like kind of like pre-gaming or something.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's the energy level, and you know, whether it gets you off or not.
So I got to mention that, you know, you have roots with some older bands and stuff, but you're writing this music and it's similar, but it's fresh, and you're keeping it alive and real, and that's something that's really hard to do without getting repetitive or repeating. So you've got some authenticity going on there.
Well, I'll burst everybody's bubble here. I'm not that young. I've been playing for a long time. I'm, you know, I'm not going to say how old I am, but anyways, I go back a ways. I played on the Strip in the late 80s, so I got a taste of all that, and how hard it was back then to try to get a record deal and all that. So that's where my foundation came from in regards to music. So I grew up around that whole era, and I just continued with it. I never stopped. There was times where I had to, you know, be responsible and go back to school and be a dad, and that sort of hindered me from going full bore. But once all that was taken care of, then, you know, I concentrated on getting back into it, which I did, and that's where we're at right now. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm not doing what a record label is telling me to do, or what some manager is trying to dictate to me that I should do. So I've kept it real the whole time.
And Tony, what's your day job?
Well, I graduated from USC. I have a master's degree in clinical social work, so I'm a mental health clinician, and that's what I do. I help people with depression, anxiety, trauma, things of that nature, OCD, and that's kind of what my day gig is.
Hey, Tony, so how much does your psychology play into your music today?
Very much so, especially on the new album. I'm glad you asked me that, because it's very, I was very cognizant of how I wrote the lyrics, how the vocal melody was going to be, and the message, of course, which is always important to me. So I think I put together some really, really good stuff. And I think when everybody hears it, they're going to really feel a strong connection to it, because it's real. It is fresh. And at the same time, it's kind of new in the way that we're even doing the music. You know, we're adding different elements of it. There's a lot of stuff that you're going to hear that's going to sound like somebody else, but then you're going to hear stuff that sounds like us. And I think that's the cool part of it, is the uniqueness of it, and the uniqueness that we bring to it. But yeah, my mental health background had a lot to do with a lot of what was written on this album.
So I'm going to segue into April at this point because we have to talk about Ringo. We're thinking about mental health, people who are having problems and in general. So the thing about the Ringo, and I think we have it if you can see it with that. Thank you, Roxy.
Okay, on the screen.
So April, I'm going to let you talk about this. Go ahead.
So Ringo is this great new breakthrough product that we have in the world of aromatherapy and essential oils. Think about aromatherapy on the go. You're out and about, you know, if you're somebody that enjoys essential oils for anti-stress or, you know, helping you sleep at night, this is a product that you can use anytime, anywhere, any place. So they come in little packs of 8. Brian has one right here. This is our sample pack, actually.
And Tony, this is something that I think your patients will like because we've been using it for one, and it does help. I use it to sleep.
So yeah, you just actually do have the other package that can.
The only one I have is the immunity one.
Yeah, so they come in packs like this. Real simple, look like a pack of gum or, you know, vitamins or something like that. And then real simple to open. They're biodegradable. They're 100% eco-friendly. These are 100% natural essential oils. This one that we picked up is for immunity, so it helps boost your immune system.
There's some that work on you focusing.
There are 7 different flavors or types that we have. So we have immunity, we have focus, sleep, slim to help curb food cravings, anti-smoking to help curb nicotine withdrawals, and then immunity to help boost your immune system. So this is the Ringo. It's just a little ring made of cellulose, and then real simple to use. You just slip it on your nose.
Okay, can I ask a question about it? What is the science behind it? I mean, I'd be curious to find out about that.
So really, I mean, it's no science. I mean, other than
essential oils.
Yeah, other than essential oils. I mean, and us, you know, testing people that like essential oils and seeing if they like this product. That's the only science behind it. It's just these are like, for example, the immunity. This is cedar and fir tree.
Tony, I wear it underneath my mask all the time.
It's basically if you have I can't remember what the things are called, but the pots that you put the oils in.
Yeah, the diffusers.
The
just
diffuser,
like a diffuser. Yeah. So and you enjoy, you know, you enjoy that. This is getting it to you instantly, basically. You just wear it for about 10 minutes, and then the effects last for up to about 7 hours.
From a therapeutic standpoint, I can't really comment on anything like that, only because I don't know the science behind it, and I'm not a PhD or an MD, so I can't really say whether it works or not. But personally, I like essential oils. I use a lot of them myself. I have one with me right now. It's frankincense and myrrh.
Oh, that's really good. I love that.
Yeah. So, and I use it every now and then when I'm tired, and I just want something to sort of perk me up a little bit. But yeah, I use it in my personal life.
I'll have Terri give you some to try. How's that?
Yeah, definitely.
And if anybody else wants any more information on them, you can find it at ringo.world. You can find more information about the product. You can buy the product. It's ringo.world.
And then with that, I think we have a photo of April. She went out to some event, and I'm like, is that April? I forgot that she looked that good. But it was actually quite interesting. I think we have a photo of her.
Nice.
I mean, it looks cute. It looks like a cute sesame.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
This is her when she gets dolled up.
Nice. I love that dress.
You look very beautiful.
Nice girl.
Beautiful.
So the other thing about this, all right, so Angelica, let's talk about your book, all the work that went into it, why this is special for you, because talk about loud music, rock and roll. This is something that, talk about being a headbanger now. Talk about this book, because your book is a headbanger.
It's a headbanger. So what do I say about the book? So I'm an international bestseller. So yay to that. And
as of today,
and
this show was booked like 3 months ago,
right.
literally.
So I'm very
Congratulations.
grateful. Thank you. I'm grateful and I'm privileged. The book is crazy. There's a lot in the book. There's sex, there's drugs, there's murder, and it's a true story. The whole thing is true. Nothing is fabricated. The only thing we changed was people's names. I literally got calls from people that were crying because of the level of just trauma that's in this book. There's a lot of murder in it.
Talk about what you do, or what you say.
So what I do, what I can say. So I am a federal interrogator and a federal investigator.
In other words, she's the feds, y'all. She's the feds.
She's the man.
She is the man.
So do you have a law? Do you have a law background? Law degree?
I have a criminal. No, actually, I don't. I have a forensic psychology degree and a chemistry degree. I never used my chemistry degree, but I do have a chemistry degree. So. Nice. Yeah, and but mostly, so I when people hear interrogator, everybody thinks I'm like slamming people around and hitting people around. I'm not that type of interrogator. I get you nice and quiet, and I get you nice and feeling good, and then you start talking. Next thing you know, you self-incriminate yourself. I'm that type of investigator, interrogator. So I'm excited. We have a lot of things going on. The book kind of took off, and there's a lot of momentum with it. And I'm sure there's a lot of questions. Brian has read the book, so we don't want to spoil the book for you, especially the ending. So I've already started on book 2. So
we got to talk about this. The AR technology in it from Hasmark is the only publishing company that has AR technology in it when it pops out to you. And Carl's sitting over here making all kinds of jokes and things like that. So he actually did this. Talk about what Carl did for you.
So augmented reality. Yes, Hasmark. Big shout out to Hasmark. So augmented reality is pretty much a video that is input into a marker into the book. So if we look at the book, there's 2 markers. So it's like the eye inside the book, and then the front cover is actually also a marker. And so we actually went live, or we did a quick video, Carl and I, of how it works. So check out my Instagram. It's on there. So pretty much we did a video, a book trailer. So whenever you point your app to whenever you put the app to the marker, then this video comes out in 3D. And it's kind of a book trailer of what the book is about. So it's pretty cool. And Hasmark is the first company that's doing it. So it's practically new technology. And then want to send a shout out to Digger from Dreamcatcher Animations. They also did a little bit of augmented reality. A lot of the stuff that they do is NFT type style. And so we have like a 1 minute and a 3 minute video of that will also be put in the book. So that's a cool stuff in the book. So you have to read the book because it's going to evoke all types of emotions for you, because it's just a lot. It's a lot in one sitting. So
like
I am super excited to read it.
I'd like to get an autographed copy.
Yes, for sure, definitely. And we had mentioned it before. I'm licensing my intellectual property to Hollywood in hopes of making it into a movie or a Netflix series or all that. So for everybody that's out there listening, that's in the works, and that's something that we're looking into doing. But the book is pretty crazy, especially the end. And a lot of the feelings that I've been having have been a lot of anxiety leading up to this day. And now that it's out, it's like the truth is out. Everybody can just bask in it, deal with it, and we can just move on to the second book. So
Terri Marie will be the main feature or the main star in this film.
Yes.
I have a question though for Angelica. I love Angelica. We always have a blast when we do events together. But I had a question and I just now thought of it. When you were a little girl, did you ever think that would be your life? I mean, did you imagine that you wanted to be like in an interrogator and like do this kind of like, I don't know, risky stuff? I mean, I mean, did you ever dream it, or did you just fall into it? And is that something you discuss in the book? Because I haven't gotten a chance to read the book
Yeah, for sure. I do discuss it in the book. In the last interview I did touch into it. I'll touch into it again. Not as a little girl. It happened when I was 15. One of my friends was murdered, dismembered, and decapitated in Chicago. It was one of the worst, most heinous crimes in Chicago history. So that kind of catapulted me into wanting to do this for a living, because I wanted to know why criminals do these acts and how they can do it, because it's just crazy to me. So really, I talk about the emotions of having major depression. I get into having suicidal thoughts. Everything is in there. For a 15-year-old trying to process the fact that their loved one is practically, dead, but in that manner, was very difficult to deal with. So I talk about the process of that, and, going to therapy and having depression and trying to deal with just, a huge impact. So I always tell people, somebody just doesn't wake up one day and say, I'm going to go work for the government or do this type of work. Something has to happen that really catapults you into that field. So, yeah.
Were you diagnosed with PTSD?
I was not diagnosed with PTSD. I was diagnosed with major depression because of me trying to deal with the death of my friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many therapists did you see?
I only saw one. I actually had one really good therapist in high school, and I still have contact with her. She's awesome. She bought a book, and she couldn't believe that our story was in there, because I talk about her awesome. She's the type of lady that looks really good when she does her sessions. So she had these scarves, and she would wrap them up in all these fancy ways to kind of keep it interesting. So the story is in the book. But the interesting thing, you mentioned PTSD. I was never diagnosed with PTSD, but I would definitely say I have some type of version of that, because when I started doing undercover for the government, I was shot and I was taken. So I won't give too much away. All that stuff is in the book, so you'll have to read it to see all the trauma that I've dealt with. So I kind of have a little bit of instances. I think it comes with the territory. Like, I will never sit with my back facing a door, and I always know where my exits are, that type of thing. But I think that just comes with, working for this type of environment. So
yeah, it does. Yeah, you start having that law enforcement type of mentality of, being in survival mode all the time.
Right. And it's just part of my personality. And when people read the book, I had so many people call me crying. Like, I can't believe all this stuff happened to you, because I'm such an upbeat and just, fiery person. And I think, the book is about just leaving your past behind and not letting it defy you and come into your present and then leaking into your future. So really, with this book, I just wanted to inspire people to let go of their past and not let your past defy you. Our circumstances and our experiences, whether good or bad, just letting it go and just be the person that you are meant to be. So that was really the intention of the book.
People talk about what you do.
So, well, which thing?
Everything. Everything.
Talk about being that publicist. Because people, you have, just like almost everybody's got many backgrounds now, but what do you really like to do, and what are you doing now?
So, yes. So I am a publicist for professional athletes and entertainers. I have been doing that for a little over 10 years now, over 6 years with my own agency, AM Elite. And it is one of my favorite things out of all the other things that I do. I'm an entrepreneur. I have a couple of businesses. I'm getting ready to launch a Monet Gourmet next month. But out of all the things that I do, it's my favorite because I get to work with a lot of kids. I get to do a lot of philanthropy work through that, and working with the athletes foundations, entertainers foundations. We do a lot of events around the holidays, toy drives and turkey drives and things like that with their different charities and organizations. And then in the off seasons, we do a lot of camps. And obviously there are free camps and events and things that we try to put on for the kids in the communities, just to try to encourage positivity and giving back, and trying to keep kids out of trouble and things like that. So that's the favorite part of all of it. It's really it's really rewarding just to see the looks on the kids' faces when you bring in their favorite athlete or their favorite actor or something, and they're just delighted to even be in their presence, let alone, get to have an experience like camp or a toy drive or something like that. So it's really cool.
Yeah, you're making dreams come true. That's really awesome. Yeah.
Well, the other thing about that too is, and that is the case, because we're in holiday season now, so this is Giving Tuesday. So it's about your favorite charity. For me, it's about the Dreamweaver Artist Ranch. Everybody has their favorite charity or something that they're like. Tosh, if you had to pick a charity, and if you do have one, what might yours be?
So when I was in college, I was in the Sigma Kappa sorority, and we had the Alzheimer's Foundation. So that was a huge, huge part of my college years. And my grandpa had Alzheimer's, so it was a night, like it was touching, and I got to connect with a lot of people when we did a lot of these fundraisers, and that's definitely something that I hold very close in my heart, finding the cure to Alzheimer's.
And tell everybody who doesn't know who you are what you do.
Yeah, so I'm from Miami. My name is Nathasha, or they call me Tosh, and I'm a Latin pop singer. Kind of just started my career about 2 years ago when the pandemic. Oh, wow, look at that! When the pandemic started, when the pandemic started, and I've been having a blast. Finding myself in what type of music I want to do. I'm kind of hitting the urban Latin world right now, and I think I really want to stick there because I really enjoy, those tropical beats and this a little bit of trap and pop mixed in together. I do have my latest single called "¿Qué pasó?", which actually made it on Telemundo. Last week they showed it on television, the hugest Spanish channel in the U.S. So that was very awesome that I was
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm my own publicist for now, so I was very proud that I was able to get that in there, and little by little I've been getting my followers, building my audience, and I'm honestly enjoying the journey, and the best is yet to come.
You give your social media links.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you can follow me at Vocally Tosh on every single social media, or you can go to my website, natasharumbosmusic.com, and you can find everything about me. But I do have a question. I just found out about NFTs recently. So I want to kind of to get Tony's opinion about artists getting into NFTs, because I found out that Tory Lanez sold 1 million copies of his album, and all of that he kept to himself. So I think that's a revolutionary thing that's happening now with artists getting into NFTs.
Well, Tosh, that we talked about that. I didn't mean to interrupt, but we talked about that last week because I'm working on a series right now I haven't minted it yet, but Brian knows about it. So that's something that I'm actually doing with my artwork, and that's a talent that I've been exploring later on in my life. And so later on, I'll be unveiling my art. But yeah, it's exciting. Yeah. So I'm kind of curious on what Tony thinks about that for musicians.
To tell you the truth, I haven't really thought about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've kind of been in my own world, finishing up this last album that we were doing, and I immersed myself in that completely, and we're almost done with it. We just have to go through the mastering phase now, and the album will be complete, which will probably be around Christmas time. So I've been busy with that, and I haven't been distracted by any other stuff that I should maybe be looking at.
Yeah, you can take your videos now and you can mint them as NFTs and only sell a certain amount. Yeah. And then it's a collectible. So, yeah. And that's how he is doing their artwork now. But it's really exciting because the world of fashion, just artwork like I'm doing, music. It's going to be incorporated into the metaverse, which is the Facebook thing with gaming. So it's kind of like the new frontier of the internet. Yeah. And it's really exciting to see how artists are going to be able to use NFTs, whether it be music, art, fashion. So I'm excited about it.
The one question I would have right off the bat is, because it is uncharted water and no one's ever been there before, is what would the legal ramifications of all this mean? And do you have a good attorney that would be able to protect you against any sort of, piracy and things of that nature with other people using your material?
I can explain that. It's all on blockchain. So basically, you're covered because it's through blockchain technology, and that's really how that's the beauty of it, because you are going to be protected through blockchain. I can't explain the technology any more than that. If somebody else wants to elaborate on it, but it has to go through so much security so that the artwork is not, and there's only going to be so many pieces minted. For example, OpenSea is a source that you could purchase this artwork on or music on. And again, it is a new frontier, but I believe that everything that we're going to be doing is going to be on blockchain technology in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Hey, Antman, let me get into you because we got a couple minutes left. Talk about what you guys have coming up for the end of the year, and what's a favorite charity of yours if you have one, and why?
Personally, myself, charity-wise, I work with Ronald McDonald House of Charities. Every year we raise money. My brand, camera angle, sorry. So we do toy drives for them, and we drop boxes around the Columbus, Central Ohio area. And I team up with a couple of other local businesses, and we try to fill a semi-trailer, and we've gotten pretty close. Last year we got 75% of the trailer full last year with just toys and clothes and all kinds of stuff. And as far as for the rest of this year, so we have a really awesome guest coming up on Monday. I will let the incredible Roxy share a little bit of that. But the rest of the year, we're just finishing it out. We have an awesome publicist that we love very much. Eileen is great. We really appreciate her. And it's just keeping our nose down, trying to create the best quality content we can, and staying busy. What do you think, Rox?
So yeah, definitely we're staying busy. We're not just out there interviewing bands like, well, how'd you get your band name? We're finding out information and details from them to help guide the other musicians that are entering into the world, because after all the effects that's happened with venues being shut down and all that, we're offering some solace to them so they're not wading in such deep waters. So again, we're a community, we're growing, and we're here to help and guide. So, and we get everybody with their experiences and something that they really know about to be able to elaborate on their scenario.
It's nice to know that. It's nice to know what kind of Pop-Tarts artists like, but I like to know more in-depth stuff about, the industry and stuff like that. I feel like so many people like, oh, what's your, like, that they get a chance to interview somebody that they are like absolutely obsessed with, and then they totally fanboy or fangirl out and no information is relayed because you're too focused on freaking out. So we try to just get down to the brass tacks of everything, Tony, I would love to have you and everybody else that's on our show so that we could chop it up and talk more. We did have a guest on our show recently that discussed NFTs and discussed what the direction their band was taking. So I encourage you guys to check that out if you get a chance. I'll send you guys the link so you can check it out. But
the page.
Yeah, definitely. I'd accept that invitation.
I think NFTs, from a music standpoint, I think NFTs, I think they're going to end up going right where we think. Terry's right on point with the whole idea that I think maybe even sooner, depending on how fast crypto works and how fast they're able to get in gear and line up, because there's some humps with crypto right now that they're still trying to get through. So I feel like once they pave the lane for the crypto, the NFTs are going to fly, because a couple of local artists that I know that do paintings and stuff went out and threw some of their artwork on NFTs and threw it out. And one of my fellow friends just sold 1,000 copies of a single NFT. Like, and he was just goofing around. Like, he didn't even know what he was doing. He was just putting it like, oh, what's this? And put it out and sold 1,000. I'm like, I'm in the wrong line of work.
Right.
And with that, we got about 90 seconds left. So, all right, April, give me your social media links. Why? What you want coming up between now and the end of the year?
New social media. It is
She got hacked.
April Monet. Please do not fall for the scam going on Instagram right now. Don't answer any DMs about getting any cash. Nothing like that. So I am April Monet is the Instagram, and we do have a big Super Bowl event coming up. So please tap in with me with that. Any brands or anybody that wants to be involved, because the Super Bowl will be right here in Los Angeles. Valentine's Day weekend.
We have a lot of great things being, and if you know me, then I'm telling you what I'm doing. If you don't know me, you're not hearing anything from me. I just leave it at that. Angelica, go ahead.
So Angelica Robles 28, my IG. You can also go to www.angelicaroblesofficial.com to see all the stuff on my website. The book is out on Amazon.
Please go get her
Please
book.
go get it. We already made pretty much international bestseller, but now we want to make Amazon bestseller, which I think I'm like 1 and 2 on different areas. But for the end of this year, my goal is to sign a movie deal. So that's what we got going on.
And Teresa from Sovereign Marketing Promotions, I love. Thank you for chiming in, all of us, with everything on that. Hey, so Roxy, good to see you. Thank you so much for all you do. Antman, I got to have you back again because it's a pleasure. I really like you. And thanks for donating to the Dream of Artists Ranch. Terri, good video. I see you shaking your stuff there. Anthony, Tony, thank you for that. Hey, we got to have you back for next year because I think something comes out in April, right?
Yeah, April 29th. Yeah.
See, I remember. I do everything off the top of my head. So, and Tosh, congratulations on your success because I'm really proud of you, and I can't wait to see you in person. I feel like we've already met, but we haven't.
I know.
I'm flying out next year, coming in town, and obviously Carl's hiding in the corner, making faces and stuff like that. So I have to say this.
Running my IG live tonight.
Exactly.
And doing my augmented reality. Yes.
And I got to thank everybody for coming on because it's not easy to put these together last minute with only 10 minutes and stuff like that. But I do say this, for Giving Tuesday, give to the charities that you like, whatever it may be. It's about promoting small business and all its people. A lot of people need help out there. So I say this, have a good night tonight, a better day tomorrow. And if you see someone without a smile, we will give them one of yours. I'm Brian Sebastian. This is Movie Reviews and More. We'll see you next week.
Get your Ringo.
Thank you. Thank you.